A restored government in Sudan, but no end to the crisis. Top General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has reinstated Prime Minister Abdalla Hamdok just 1 month after the military coup. The general seized power and detained Hamdok on October 25th. This triggered mass protests, clashes with security forces, and pressure from the international community. On Sunday, the two figures signed a deal. A handful of politicians were released, but other key civilian figures and ministers remain in detention.
This deal helps, we hope, in relieving the internal and external obstruction and restoring the transition process towards a sustainable democracy.
But the agreement has failed to appease the population. Anti-coup demonstrators feel betrayed by Hamdok. They aim to keep pressure on the restored joint military-civilian government. Also on Sunday, they marched in the capital Khartoum to voice their anger.
Right now, Hamdok is no longer accepted in the streets. If you hear the chants now, they have all changed to calls against him. By doing what he did, he betrayed the streets. He betrayed all the deals we have with him for a civilian government and a transition to civilian rule.
It is still unclear how much power Hamdok will have. Analysts warn the move simply whitewashes the coup. A jihadist attack in northern Burkina Faso has turned the spotlight on failures by security forces. The raid on Inata base camp on November 14th was the deadliest to hit the West African country's forces since jihadist violence erupted 6 years ago. 57 people were killed, according to the latest official count. At a funeral in Ouagadougou, relatives of the victims voiced anger at apparent chaos in the military.
Nowhere in the world do you send kids to the front without a hierarchy trying to coordinate things. We have never heard of a single Burkinabe officer falling at the front. How can we explain that?
President Roch Marc Christian Kabore acknowledged failings within the army and promised sanctions. 2 military commanders have been stripped of their posts. Many accuse former colonial power France of being incapable of eradicating jihadists in the Sahel nations, where its military has intervened since 2013. Thousands of protesters held up a French military convoy in several Burkinabe towns, including in Kaya, as it was crossing the country to reach Niger from Ivory Coast. As rebel groups near Ethiopia's capital, these residents of Addis Ababa have come out to join the government's war effort. An event on Wednesday celebrated new volunteers and community safety officials.
It worries me a lot. That's why I'm joining the recruitment. I can't wait for them to come here. I know the junta cannot come here with their capacity. I know someone is assisting them. I want to go and fight those who are assisting them.
Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed reportedly joined the front line where government forces are battling Tigrayan rebels. At least one prominent long-distance runner, marathoner and Olympic silver medalist Faiza Lilisa has joined thousands of ordinary Ethiopians keen to follow Abiy's lead. The war erupted in November 2020 when Abiy sent troops into Tigray to topple its ruling party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, known as the TPLF. He said the move was in response to attacks on federal army camps. Foreign governments and the UN have urged their citizens to leave amid fears the capital may fall. 10 years since the fall of Moamer Kadhafi, Libya will hold the first presidential elections in its history. The Election Commission on Wednesday rejected the candidacy of Gaddafi's son, Seif al-Islam Gaddafi, in the polls on December 24th. Another deeply divisive figure is also attempting a run. Eastern strongman Khalifa Haftar. Many in Western Libya accuse him of seeking to establish a military dictatorship. Short of 100 candidates, including 2 women, registered for the election. Disputes have plagued the path to the ballot box, and observers warn that the country's transition to democracy is not yet guaranteed. This new boutique hotel nestled in a wealthy Johannesburg suburb once was the home of Nelson Mandela. The global peace icon lived here for 8 years, shortly after his release from prison. Here, he could enjoy the simple pleasures he was denied for 27 years. After it was abandoned to squatters, the house was remodelled into a boutique hotel. Inside, everything has been redone. The anti-apartheid hero's bedroom is now the presidential suite.
We want to show you sides of Madiba that you didn't see previously, and also teach you some things that you might not have known before. It's also an outlet for the Nelson Mandela Foundation, where they have these beautiful art pieces in the archives, and this is an opportunity to display all those art pieces.
Even though it is a renovated commercial building, the management aimed to keep the feel of a cosy home. Food plays an important role. The menu is inspired by Mandela's favourite dishes, and the chef? The cook who fed him for 20 years.
He liked samp and beans, goes with oxtail stew. That's what he liked the most, but he enjoyed everything that you put on the table for him.
The main goal is for guests to enjoy their stay in peace and quiet as much as they would in any other hotel. And if they want to know about Mandela, the staff are happy to oblige. The hotel is a way to fund Mandela's legacy, the manager Dimitri Moritz explains.
This is going to be around for many years to come, for many more people to see it, because this place will actually sustain itself and take care of itself.
But some of Mandela's admirers are not on board with the idea. For them, the luxury is a far cry from the ideals of equality and justice that he championed.